All right, so we're going to be applying the unit conversion techniques that we have been learning to convert between number in the metric and English systems. So remember I talked about these three conversion factors that you just had to know. There were three of them, and if you know those three, you're going to be able to go between English and metric with any of the different types of units we're going to see during this semester. We're going to get to one of those here in a second. So we're going to convert between pounds and grams. And what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to find conversions that take us from pounds to grams. Now, we talked about the idea of going between pounds and kilograms as being one of those three conversion factors I told you you just need to know. So I know that I can get from pounds to kilograms using that conversion factor, because I know that in 1 kilogram there are 2.205 pounds. And then I know how to go from kilograms to grams because I know the definition of that prefix kilo. And in 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. So if we look at the pathway that we can take, we can go from pounds to kilograms using this conversion factor, and we can go from kilograms to grams using this conversion factor, and we would be at the end of the problem. That's what we want to end up with, the number of grams. So we have our two conversion factors that we sort of figured out by thinking about how we can go from one to the other and how they interconnect. So we're going to start with this 115 pounds. We said this particular person's mass was. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to convert between pounds and kilograms. And we know our conversion factor is 1 kilogram, 2.205 pounds. Pounds would cross out, leaving us with a unit of kilograms. So if we stop right here, we would have an answer that is in kilograms. We would have converted those 115 pounds into kilograms. That's not where we want to stop, however. We want to end up with grams. So in 1 kilogram, again, the kilogram is going to go on the bottom so that it crosses out. How many grams are there? 1,000 grams. Whoops. And that is not crossed out because there's no unit to cross it out with. That's the unit that we're going to end up with. So now we can converted pounds to kilograms to grams. That's the point that we want to get to. So, how do you do this particular calculation? Well, I would take everything on the top and multiply it together, and everything on the bottom and multiply it together, and then divide those two things. So I'm going to write this all out for this time just so that you see it. So I'm multiplying 115 times 1 times 1,000. And I'm going to multiply the 2.205. And I multiply that by 1. So I do all the multiplication on the top, and I do all the multiplication on the bottom, and then I divide those two. And in reality, with it being all multiplication and division, it doesn't matter what order you do these in. You can divide first, and then you can multiply. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to do all those multiplication and division steps. We're going to get an answer of 52,154 grams. And one of the things that we have not talked a lot about yet, we're probably getting to in class just as you're watching this video, is the idea of significant figures. And we're going to find that this number, when we get done, should end up with 3 significant figures. It's going to be based on this 115 right here. Getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I just want to make sure that that's introduced to you. So it should be 552,200 grams would be the true answer. Now, until we get to significant figures, we're not going to start actually worrying about you being able to get the correct number of significant figures, but we're going to get there very rapidly, and at that point, everyone's going to need to know how to get the correct number of significant figures. So, just for information, that's here, the 52,200 grams, but if you can get either answer, you're probably in good shape for right now. That's how to do a multi-step conversion problem converting between the English and the metric system of units.